What's going on, guys? My name is Josh Vega. Some of you may know me as Bobby Millette, and I'm a freelance photographer here in South Florida. And today I'm going to show you guys how I shoot real estate. So let's get started. All right, so let's talk about what gear you're going to need if you're going to be shooting photo, video, and aerial photography. So the first thing you're going to need is a decent camera. I'm using the Canon EOS R6. You're definitely going to want a wide angle lens. This is the Sigma 14 to 24 millimeter f2.8 lens. If you're shooting video, you're going to want to stabilize the camera. So you're going to need some sort of gimbal system. There's a bunch of different brands you can invest in. I like the Ronin series. As far as drones, again, you have a lot of different options. I like to stick with DJI. This is the Mavic Air 2. It's a really tiny drone that I can fit into a fanny pack. So when I go to a job, my whole drone system fits into this fanny pack here, and I can walk around with my full setup instead of having to carry multiple items. If you're going to be shooting 360 photos, you have a few different options as well. This is the Theta 360 camera. And the other brand is the Insta360. I like both, but this one pairs up with Zillow 3D Tours, so this is the one that I had to go with. If you're going to be recording agents, you're going to want some sort of mic system. So I like to go with the Rode wireless system here. There's two different types that you can buy. These are the more expensive, bulkier brand. But you know, they did release the smaller versions, and that's what I'm using. So I'm using the Wireless Go system here, which is just a little tiny mic that actually can clip onto my t-shirt. And then you're gonna want a little bubble level. And this is just to put on top of your camera here. And that makes sure that your camera is leveled, because when you're shooting wide angle, you don't wanna point the camera down or up because you're gonna distort the image. And you're gonna wanna make sure that you get a good tripod. This is your partner in crime here, so you're gonna wanna make sure that you invest in a decent brand. I personally like Manfrotto. They're known to create very sturdy tripod systems. And again, don't get a cheap one because they bend, the material is cheap. It happened to me before. I accidentally bent a leg, tripping over it, and I couldn't finish the job. So invest in a good tripod. And I think that's going to be everything that you're going to need to get started in real estate photography. All right, guys, so I'm here with my friend Chris Cusimano. He actually is the realtor who sold me my house, and I've known him for a long time. I used to be his bar back. I've known him to be like one of the hardest workers that I know, probably even harder than me, I don't know. He's gonna give you some pointers as to what agents should do when they're showing off a property. And while he's doing that, I'm gonna make sure that everything is nice and tidy so that we could get our shoot on after.
Be inside of your real estate videos. The reason why is less than 1% of real estate agents do it. It's such a great marketing tool that you can use for yourself, because the number one thing that sellers want to see real estate agents doing, they want to see them marketing a property. So why not double whammy that and build a personality, build a brand for yourself while you're marketing property in a different way. So if you do a walkthrough video tour, less than 1% of real estate agents do it. Actually, there's less than 9% of realtors have any type of video at all. So you're just elevating your game, your value stacking your proposition. So that's one of the reasons why we do it. And also you want to build likability with yourself. So a couple of pointers that you want to keep in mind while you're doing this. You don't have to have too many details about the property, but you want to show your personality. Think about smiling. Try not to be stiff. Try to be relatable. You know, make people want to call you and like you. But again, don't worry too much. Don't worry about perfection. That's what people want to see. They want to see you being real. It will separate yourself from the pack. Oh, and it makes you famous. You're walking to appointments and people literally say to me, oh my God, I can't believe that you're here. I can't believe I see you in person. You hear this all the time. It's weird. And I don't even have to really make an argument for why I'm different from anyone else. You know, that question, why should I hire you over so-and-so? Well, they know why they should hire you. And if they called you in the first place, they wouldn't have called you unless they liked you. So if you lost that deal and they saw all your videos, that means you messed up in person. You pretty much have the deal if they call you, thanks to video. So those are my pointers for you. I hope this helps, and let's do this thing.
All right, guys, so I want to talk about the prep list to get a house in order. Usually I send a list out to the agent maybe a day or two before I visit the property, just so they can get the house in order, or if it's homeowner occupied, they can send the information to the homeowner, and the homeowner can take care of everything before I get there. As you can see here, we have some soap on the counter. We have some sponges, so I'll just stick those in the sink. As you can see, we got one lamp on, but this one's off. Don't mind Chris, he's doing some work. We're just gonna make sure that all the lamps are on, and look, here we have another random chair. So it looks like that goes there, but for now, we'll just leave that there. That looks fine, I don't care. As you can see, we don't want any trash cans, so we'll just hide the trash cans in the corner. Sometimes there's shampoos and things like that in the shower, so we'll get rid of those. If there's toothbrushes or anything here, we'll get rid of them. There's some hallway lights here that we need to turn on, so I didn't notice that. Make sure you hit all the switches in the house so that every light is on. Sometimes you miss a light. So as you can see, there's some stuff on the bed that needs to be moved. This light needs to be turned on. Fans are on. And once all the lights are on, once your fans are on for the video and everything is cleaned up, then you can approach your realtor friend here and say, hey, we're ready to go because I'm on a time crunch. I'm sure he has a lot of work to do.
Let's go.
Where do you want to get started as far as showing the property off?
So it's a small unit. There's not a whole lot to talk about. So you're going to talk about the surrounding areas. This happens to be about a mile or so from Atlantic Avenue. It's a hot spot down here in Delray and across the street from the beach. So you're really selling the feel of the community and not necessarily the condo itself.
All right, so we're doing our initial intro shot here at the beach. And for something like this, we're like in great lighting out here, but you never know if clouds are gonna swing by and the lighting is gonna change. So for something out here, I'll do auto ISO, just so as the daylight is changing, my camera settings are exposing correctly. Also, since this is not gonna be a slow-mo shot, I'm shooting this at 24 frames per second and using a 1/50 shutter speed. And then when we do the B-roll shots, I'll switch over to 60 frames per second, knowing that I'm gonna slow those down. So right now, we're gonna do our initial shot here at the beach with Chris.
So I was talking about earlier how you always want to grab attention as soon as you start the listing video. And there's no perfect, if you have a condo like the one we have, it's perfect. We're literally walking distance to the beach. So people are gonna see me behind the beach all dressed up like I don't belong at the beach, and it's gonna grab their attention. And then we're gonna take it and we're gonna show you how we're gonna transition from here to the condo. This is where it gets fun.
Yeah.
Hey everybody, if you're moving to South Florida, you want to live here at the beach. And so many people who live down here unfortunately have to pay for parking, but not you. I have a beautiful condo, fully renovated, right across the street, and all you have to do is walk on over. Let me show you my condo.
We just shot the first scene, but I like to shoot two just to have a backup, just in case, and then I'll pick out the one that I like the best.
All right. If you want to live in South Florida, you want to live near the beach, and all you need to get to this beach from my brand new 2-bedroom condo listing is put it on a pair of flip-flops. Let me show you how close it is. That was much better.
All right, so Chris just finished his intro portion, and so just to add something on top of that, I'm gonna do a quick B-roll shot of the ocean and the path that he was just on. And to do that, I know I'm gonna slow it down, so I'm gonna switch to 60 frames per second and my shutter speed 1/125. And then we're just gonna get a quick B-roll shot just to overlay when he's talking about the beach. So right by the sign, you can stop.
Did you guys see that parking lot that we walked by? You'll never have to use it. That's how close this condo is.
And then where are we going next? To the pool? Or like the dock or whatever? Okay.
All right, so the idea came to me that maybe we, in order to show off the amenities of this property while we're walking up, is point back to how I said I was showing the condo in a minute, but maybe we'll take a break before we got there, have a beer here, or cook a burger or something at the grill in this brand new tiki hut. So with the pool in the background.
This is it's gonna be a pretty static shot, so I'm just gonna rest my gimbal here on the counter. I'm gonna try not to get the hose in the back, just the pool, and hopefully you don't hear the noise over there.
So besides the beach, Floridians, we love tiki huts, and they have a brand new built tiki hut with a beautiful kitchen where you can have a beer, cook up a burger at your brand new barbecue grill, or take a dip in the pool.
Perfect.
It wasn't too stiff?
All right, so Chris just finished doing his little segment here. He talked about the tiki hut and the pool. So we're just gonna get B-roll of the tiki hut and that pool area and possibly this waterfront here. They're doing a little bit of work over there, so we don't want to show them the work that they're doing. Real quick, I see some stuff on the tiki counter here, so we'll try to hide this. Perfect. So 1 or 2 shots of the tiki hut and the bar, and 2 or 3 shots of the pool, and I think that'll be good to overlay as he's talking. So all I'm gonna do for the pool shot, I'm gonna get pretty wide, and I'm gonna push in from the inside of the tiki so people could see the transition of the tiki leaves over into the nice pool area here. And the sun is nice out, so let's take advantage and do this shot now. So that's it, that's 1 shot there. Then I'll come around the pool, do another shot there. And normally I just do like a half moon motion around the area. These are simple shots, you know, these are just pushing into the room or the area. And that's it. So now we go inside. All right, so now we're on the 3rd floor where the unit is located. And I want to show the view that we were looking at from down there. So I want to show that when you're looking over your balcony, you can see the pool and the tiki hut below.
You guys want to do a walk up, not too far, even just from the elevator here, since we did a walk up from here to the tiki hut, so it doesn't look like we just poofed in this condo. Well, maybe you want me to come around the corner? Right here.
Oh, right through there, yeah. And ready.
It is the 3rd floor. We got to talk about that because no one's stepping on you. Boom, 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 boom.
Right, so, and then this process is good because like we usually talk about what rooms we're going to talk about. Like sometimes some agents just want to do a simple intro and outro. So they're like, hey, my name is so-and-so with so-and-so Realty, and then welcome to my 5-bedroom, 2-bath, whatever square feet. And then I show off the unit, and then they do an outro. And then other realtors, they'll do an intro, and then they'll do a guided tour through certain rooms. So you don't sometimes want to show every single room. You just kind of want to show the kitchen, the master bath, and then the big selling features.
Can I add something to that?
Yeah.
So when you're doing the guided tour, you want to keep it very, very brief. Remember, people, they're not watching for you. They're kind of watching for the space. Your job is to keep their attention going so they continue watching. Also, I like to do more takes because I make a lot of mistakes and you will too. And it's great for blooper reels at the end.
So I'm switching from, I'm still shooting 24 frames per second, but I'm not going to shoot at an auto ISO anymore because the lighting conditions here are controlled. So, and I don't want the exposure to be changing as he's talking. So what we're going to do here is we're going to set our aperture at 2.8. So he has like a nice blurry background. And we're going to expose the scene correctly. All right. and I'm gonna approach you and you're gonna say welcome friends. So 3, oh. All right, and 3, 2, 1.
Welcome friends, we finally made it to this gorgeous condo that's on the 3rd floor. You want the 3rd floor because it's the top floor and no one's on top of you making noise with their footsteps. And the focal point of this gorgeous condo is this brand new remodeled, never touched kitchen, except for me touching it right now. It has everything, slow closing drawers and cabinets. It has stainless steel appliances, and the fridge is my favorite part because there's a Keurig coffee maker. That's key, because then you don't have to take up counter space with a coffee machine. Welcome home. Okay, so you can do the outro in many different ways. Every property's different and you have to do it specific to that one. A lot of times I have me walking outside the door. Something like this, since we already showed the outside, maybe just ending on the condo. You want to thank people for spending their time with you and reminding them that there are bloopers at the end if there are bloopers on the end. And that's it, 2 to 3 seconds, 2 to 3 sentences, and just wrap it up and put a bow on it. Yeah, so if you want to see more of me and some of the cool things that I do, I'm a top producing real estate agent down in South Florida. This year alone, I'll make just under, probably even about $500,000 in real estate commissions. No cold calling, no door knocking, none of that stuff. I show you step by step in my training program. It's a super weird name, but head to it. It's called the underwearagents.com, underwearagents.com. You can't even say it without smiling. Check it out, and you can't forget it.
All right, thank you, Chris. All right. I'm assuming you guys know basic camera settings now, so I don't want to get too deep into it. As far as the ISO goes, I don't normally use auto ISO for interiors, but this new Canon R6 does a pretty good job with auto ISO, and I've been testing that out and it does seem to work pretty well. But for the most part, the lighting here is constant, so we can just choose the ISO that we need for each room. And I shoot in C-Log. So you can shoot in standard or C-Log, but I prefer shooting real estate in C-Log because when you shoot C-Log, you get more dynamic range. It's the same reason that we shoot HDR photos, to get more dynamic range so that the windows and interior are properly exposed and the windows aren't just blown out. So C-Log on these Canon cameras or the Canon R6 is a 10-bit C-Log, which is really good for color grading, especially when you have, again, mixed colors and mixed lighting. So C-Log, ISO is manual, depending on the room. Auto white balance on white priority mode, and 60 frames per second because we're going to be slowing down the footage. And those are the camera settings. So I'm using a Sigma 14 to 24 millimeter lens. I usually like to go around like 15 to 16 millimeters on these shots. And when I'm thinking about the actual shots that I'm doing, it's nothing too complex. I like to shoot in a way where it simulates a person walking through the home and touring it. So I don't like to just show a bunch of random shots. So we're gonna use the intro from the beach that's heading over here, showing the amenities, and then Chris walking into the unit. And then I'm gonna show this initial living room here, move my way to the kitchen, show maybe a little shot of the dining room, and then move my way over to the master, and then probably end with like an aerial shot of the building. As far as my movements go, this is a smaller house, so I don't have that much wiggle room, so you wanna be tight to the corners, right? I don't want this door open because it's gonna bring in light that I don't need. So all I'm gonna do here is I'm just gonna push into to show the living room area here. And sometimes when you have like really low furniture like this and not a whole lot of room to make the shot a little bit more interesting and dynamic, you can go really low with the gimbal. And that's why I have this handle here on my Ronin S. And this is just a modified handle that you can get for like 30 bucks on Amazon. And it's also why I use a monitor, because I could see my footage here. And so what I'll do is I'll come in really low to the ground here, and I'll push in and I'll bring the camera up. After we shoot the living room, I want to move into the next room, which is the kitchen. So I want to show some separation. I don't want to start too close here. I kind of want to show a little bit of the living room so it feels like we're moving from one room to another. So I'd like to start back here. We're just going to do a slow push, and we're going to do a half moon into the kitchen here. I like to show appliances if they're nice. These aren't like really high-end name brand appliances, but still just to get an extra shot. we'll come here from the stovetop, and then we'll push out and push in. Or I might start from the bottom and work my way up and turn into the kitchen. So the next thing to show, if you're walking through this house, is this bathroom. So bathroom shots can be tricky if there's a lot of reflections. This is a normal standard bathroom here, and so I always do 2 basic shots here, and that's coming in from like this 45-degree angle here, and then just pushing in just until the point where I can see my camera in the mirror. I might come in here pointing towards the shower head and then just peeking and showing that shower head here with some of the glass showing as well. You always want to make sure the bathrooms, the toilets are down and there's no toilet paper or anything showing, or any ugly rugs or decoration. Most rooms like this, all I'm doing is similar to the bathroom where I'm coming in at a 45-degree angle here. And I like to show some of the door frame to show that I'm walking into this space. So I'll show a little bit of the door frame, and I'll just walk into the room and show off the bed. So we just got a B-roll of every room in the house. Now remember, Chris is going to be talking over that footage, or some of it. So as he's talking, we're just going to show off a few of the rooms. We might not even show off everything. All we're showing off is a nice kitchen, the living room, maybe a view here or there. And then we also have footage of every room at different angles if at some point he wants to add that on, or maybe make a separate video where it's just showing off the property. All right guys, so we are done with the photos and videos of the interior. So the last thing you're gonna do, if you're the last one here in the property and the agent has gone, is just make sure to turn off all the lights and leave everything as you found it. So we finished with the interior shots. Now we are outside of the property, the sun is shining, and so we are gonna do the aerial photography. As you can see, I could fit everything into this little fanny pack. That's why I like the Mavic Air 2. This thing just folds out, and I just turn the power on here. This trusty controller, I plug in my iPhone to use as a screen. Then the little joysticks are hidden under. And just like that, I'm ready to go. For my video mode, or my video setting, I'm gonna shoot in a standard color profile. Even though this does like a D-Cine-like mode, I find that it tends to look pretty good in standard. I'm gonna shoot 4K, and I'm shooting 60 frames per second as well, because we're gonna slow the footage down. So very similar to what we do when we shoot with the camera inside the property. So now we're just gonna shoot kind of like a circle around this property, or a half moon. You wanna think about like making the unit or the building the focal point of the shot. So really focusing on centering the building in the middle of the shot. All right. All right guys, and that is how I shoot aerials. I hope you got something out of that. Conditions weren't perfect, but you get the idea. All right guys, so I hope you learned something today. You know, I didn't go over everything in detail that I would like to have, but for the most part, I think I covered everything. As far as like giving you a good idea of what gear you need to get started, what settings, the concept of, you know, what angles to choose, how to work with another agent, how to prepare the house. If you have any questions or have anything that I haven't answered as of yet, leave a comment below. Again, my name is Josh Vega, but I do go as Bobby Millette online, so my portfolio is under www.bobbymillette.com. You can see all of my real estate work there. I am a freelance photographer, so you can contact me if you want me to shoot a video for your listing or a photo. But yeah, it was nice doing this video for you guys, and I'm out.
If you want to live in South Florida, you want to live near the beach, and all you need to get to this beach from my brand new 2-bedroom condo listing is put on a pair of flip-flops. Let me show you how close it is. Did you guys see that parking lot that we walked by? You'll never have to use it. That's how close this condo is. So besides the beach, Floridians, we love tiki huts, and they have a brand new built tiki hut with a beautiful kitchen where you can have a beer, cook up a burger at your brand new barbecue grill, or take a dip in the pool. Welcome friends, we finally made it to this gorgeous condo that's on the 3rd floor. You want the 3rd floor because it's the top floor and no one's on top of you making noise with their footsteps. And the focal point of this gorgeous condo is this brand new remodeled, never touched kitchen, except for me touching it right now. It has everything, slow closing drawers and cabinets. It has stainless steel appliances, and the fridge is my favorite part because there's a Keurig coffee maker. That's key, because then you don't have to take up counter space with a coffee machine. Welcome home. Thank you for spending your valuable time with me. To check out my brand new listing just a short drive away from Atlantic Avenue in Delray Beach. Remember to stick around to the very end because I make a lot of mistakes and I have a blooper reel to prove it. If you'd like to see this condo, give me a call. I'd love to show it to you.